Hey, Matt.
Hey Doug, everything's paused. No one's in here yet, but I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, are we starting at 7?
Yeah, you got about 10 minutes.
Okay, so I should be okay hanging on here.
Yeah, you're good. Just hang tight. No worries.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, if you get any issues and you have to recall in, just text me and I will do what I just did to re-promote you where you can speak.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Matt.
Is there a way to mute you at all? So like if somebody comes in?
Matt, did you hear that?
Well, I couldn't hear what she said, but I could hear in general.
Uh, I guess I'll just have to be really quiet. It's probably hard to mute and unmute me.
I can mute you. I'm not sure what it takes for you to unmute. I can't unmute you, but I can mute you if you'd like.
I'll try to be quiet.
Okay. You could also, I think, actually, no, on the phone calls, I'm not sure. There is a way to do it from like hitting the dial pad, but I can't remember what the key is.
Okay. Right now, we'll just kind of wing it with this situation. Thanks, Matt. And any of those suit. Do you want any of this? Yep, go get them. The only thing that'll be uncomfortable is when the doctors come in.
If you want to toggle yourself muted or unmuted, try *6. That'll mute, and then *6 to unmute.
Should I try *6 to mute?
Yeah, try it right now while we got a little bit. Try *6.
So I'm going to talk until I push it. Talk, 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 talk.
That worked. It muted you.
Okay, now.
And you're good.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so that
*6.
works. You can hit *6 to mute and *6 to unmute when you're ready to talk.
Fantastic.
Okay, do *6.
I'll mute right now.
Yep.
Perfect. Thanks, Doug.
I'll listen to you if you have any other instructions for me.
Okay,
Thanks again.
I think that should be it. And then if we get any feedback, I'll mute you and just let you know.
Okay, do you hear me now?
Yep, you're loud and clear. And now you're muted. Okay, I'm going to mute too.
No, it's nothing. Oh, yes, it is doing it.
Good evening. Today is Tuesday, April 4th, 2023. This is the Cottonwood Heights City Council Business Meeting. We're going to begin tonight with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I've asked our city manager, Tim Tingy, to lead us. Thank you, Tim. So I want to do an acknowledgement before we get to our citizen comment period. Is David Burrell here? Is he not here? Or he's online, right?
I think he's going to be online. Have you seen Paula? Is he on?
So while we're doing that, in 2020, the city of Cottonwood Heights, the council adopted April as Child Abuse Prevention Month, and in conjunction with preventing child abuse. So this adoption does not need to be voted on by the council, but it continues each year. And so I wanted to read the proclamation and then just reemphasize that Cottonwood Heights is recognizing the month of April as Child Abuse Prevention Month. The proclamation reads as such: whereas children are the future of the world, and investing in their general welfare, safety, and livelihood is of utmost importance. And whereas all children deserve to grow up in a safe and nurturing environment to assure that they are able to reach their full potential. And whereas the protection of children and strengthening of families is of concern to and the responsibility of all citizens, because the wellness of children affects all lives now and in the future. And whereas child abuse is a serious problem throughout the world, crossing all racial, religious, socioeconomic, and geographic boundaries, with each instance of child abuse impacting not only that family, but also the entire community. And whereas it is desirable for all of the residents of the city of Cottonwood Heights, the city, to become more aware of child abuse and its prevention, and for the city to actively encourage its residents to raise their children in a safe and nurturing environment. And whereas the city council therefore deems it appropriate to designate each April as Child Abuse Prevention Month in the city in order to raise the awareness of the city's residents to the potential for child abuse, and to encourage all to be attentive to the problems of families around them, and to commit to do everything they can to help prevent child abuse. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Cottonwood Heights City Council that the city hereby designates each April as Child Abuse Prevention Month in the city, and calls upon all citizens to renew their commitment to be educated on the impact of child abuse and to join together in working for its prevention within the city and throughout the world.
Mayor, he's actually online now, so he is available to speak if you want to.
Great. And if David, we're grateful for you to join us. And is there anything you'd like to add?
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for having us. Yeah. And, yeah, well, let me just introduce myself really quick. Yeah, I'm representing Family Support Center as the grant writer here. And yeah, you know, I was very fortunate to be here last April to during the April, and to just really see, yeah, the community, I guess in support of everything you're saying, just to see the community come together, both at the county building, and yeah, just not just the council members, but the volunteers and people in our programs and citizens just come out and help plant. It was a very eye-opening experience, and I was grateful to share that with a lot of new team members who will be taking. You know, they were kind of nervous. What kind of community support do we have? And I was just happy to tell them. It grows, more and more, and so it's just really fun, and I'm looking forward to doing it again this year. So, thank you.
Thank you, David. Appreciate you joining us and for those
Thank you.
comments. Okay, yep. So, and I apologize, I failed to mention this. So we wanted to excuse council member Ellen Burrell tonight. She was with us during the work session, but is unable to be here for the business session. And then we also have online a council member, Doug Peterson. So he is here with us and we'll be voting on the action item we have for in a moment. So item 4 is our citizen comment period. And I'm going to call up first Michael Falk.
Hi, anybody sick of shoveling? I am. My name is Mike Falk. I've lived in Cottonwood Heights since 1976, so I've been around a while. First thing I'd like to mention is, and it's probably been said over and over and over again, but bicycle and pedestrian safety, I think it's something that's really important, and anything the city can do to improve bicycle and pedestrian safety would be very much appreciated and would enhance our quality of life. Not that we have a bad quality of life here in our city. It's a great city, but whatever you can do, if it takes lowering speed limits, better pedestrian crossings, whatever, please consider it and try to get something done. Better enforcement, who knows, whatever it takes. The second thing is, and I don't know how much this pertains to the city, but House Bill 469. I don't know if any of you are aware of that. It started out being a clarification of wildlife management rules. And at the very last minute, a representative from somewhere in northern Utah added a provision to allow cougar hunting and trapping of animals with leg traps and snares for anyone with a valid hunting license all year long. Leg traps are probably one of the most cruel and barbaric devices that humans have ever invented. And I don't know if there's anybody out there in our city who would be tempted to use one of those things, but anything the city can do to discourage the use of trapping, especially with leg traps, would definitely be, I think, the right thing to do. They don't discriminate against what animal they catch. It could be a bobcat, it could be a house cat, it could be your family dog. It could even be a small child out on a walk just for a hike with their family. So I don't know what the city could do about that, but anyway, just thought I'd mention that. So I guess that's about it. Thanks for letting me speak.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you coming and appreciate your comments. And I think those are all valid.
Were you able to get your street light reported correctly? Oh, it's, I told him to call, and there's one of the street lights down on Nantucket.
He did call me. I talked to him, and it is in process. Yep.
But that goes to, I mean, keeping the intersections lit goes a long way, especially this close to the high school. I'm making it safe.
Thank you, Mike. So next up, we have Alan Nilsson.
Thank you for letting me speak today and have a chance to comment. I'm back on, I don't know if you guys remember me from my last comment. I live in Scott's district or area, and I'm down on the bottom of by the river. I've been there now. Our families own that property since 1928, and I'm fighting right now with getting, being able to keep my chickens and my roosters. So I'm wondering if anything can be done on that piece of that strip of land. I've talked to quite a few of the neighbors that are still running there, still have horses and donkeys and livestock down there, and everybody's kind of getting concerned about if that the city's going to close in on even letting us have any of those things. So we're trying real hard to see if we can get anybody to support a bill or do something. I don't know how to do it. Last time I asked what could be done and how would I go about getting a petition if that's what I needed to do, and I didn't get any response. So that's kind of why I'm here today, is I'd like some type of response on what I would need to do to get it to where that we could change the zoning to, at least read on an acre what you could do versus like a third acre or whatever it is a normal house. I think right now we're governed on the third acre or whatever a house is governed, a small lot is governed, even if we have 3 acres. So that's what I would, I'm love to see something like that be changed to be able to go back and keep it to where things have been, especially since the use permit on the, this property's been used for this since 1928. So I'm going through the court system now. It's been costly, and I'm still paying an attorney to fight this as far as trying to get it grandfathered in that way. If that's the only way I can do it, I'd love to hear someone tell me that's the right route, the right way to do it. But I would much rather see if we could change that for that area that's on both sides. It also gets into Doug's area a little bit on the other side where Royal Lane is, down there around the church and that area. So thank you.
Great, thank you. And I would just add, so process wise, getting a council member to bring this up to the council, put it on an agenda, and if there's anything specific you want to see changed, we can do it that way. Anyway, Tim, anything to add?
Yeah, I would just say 2 council members can get it on a work session agenda for discussion. And then there would have to be a majority to move that forward. And I think that's something that Councilmember Peterson, I believe, had spoken with you a little bit about. Then in addition to that, it would have to be an ordinance change that would reflect different from what is already allowed in keeping chickens and roosters. So.
Yeah, I mean, we probably at least stick it on for repeat that. A little unfair, Mike's not here to kind of answer.
No, I think we're all happy to probably discuss it more. Okay, David Berry.
Thank you for letting me speak, and harking back to prior meetings, thank you for listening to us about Little Cottonwood Creek. Appreciate that. I was listening to the work session, and you may have heard me speak of this before, but I am struck once again by being told that Wasatch Front Regional Council says that Cottonwood Heights needs to grow 28.2%. At least that's not the way it was said. It was said it is projected to grow, or your percentage of the growth of the valley, I think, is really the way they couch it, even though that wasn't quite the way it was said at the meeting today. But your share, so to speak, of the projected growth of the valley is to grow to 41,800 persons by the year 2050. Most of that growth would be in the 2040 to 2050 period, but some of that growth is even now. But the point is, growth to that number is a 28.2% increase mathematically from the chart you presented at the meeting where we are today. I ask again, has the council, has the city you representing the city. Has the city ever decided that that's a growth factor we want to hit? Are we already going above that number? I mean, mathematically, someone needs to put a pencil to paper and say, if we build X number of units based upon an occupancy level of whatever it is you project. I mean, I think right now our city is at about I forget the number, right around 1.7, 1.8 per unit. But whatever that is, I think the city has to make a decision. What do we want to have that number be? Before we start, as a city, start planning to target that number or surpass the number or go lower than the number. That's a city decision. Exclusively within the decision-making of our city in zoning, in planning, and in permitting. I have never heard, and I've been listening to this for over 2 years, and I've talked about this for over 2 years now and again when it comes up. I've never heard the city say, that's a number we want, or whatever the number is that we want. That's our decision as a city, not Wasatch Front Regional Council. And we should plan to a number we want to target. Again, I'm asking that discussion specifically come up at meetings and discussions with the people and the council. Thank you. Appreciate the extra 2 moments.
Thank you. No problem. No problem. Just to give a quick background, the number that we originally looked at came from WFRC in regards to transportation studies. And so they're the ones that said, hey, we think that your city's actually going to grow to 50-something thousand by 2050. And we pushed back and said, hey, where did that come from? To our public works staff, they went and engaged WFRC and said, tell us how you came to that. It was based on a certain calculation that we disagreed with, and we then they used a different calculation to come up. You know, one of the ways that a city can control growth to some points, but they also have to respect private property rights. And so current zoning and open lands that can be redeveloped. So that's kind of where those calculations come from. And I don't think it's perfect, but I also don't think that it's a bad idea. I think cities 100% need to plan for growth. And so I think that's a good suggestion. So thank you. Last, Mickey Harris.
Gonna move the stool out of the way because I think we're taller. Mike, thank you for your comments. I totally piggyback safer streets, obviously, just with slower speeds and cycling. I'm a cyclist myself, so don't plan on dying anytime soon. But that kind of leads me into our road we call Wasatch. And because it's been backed up so many times on this outlier winter that we've been having, has caused a lot of us to think, and some of the community organizations and neighbors have thought of possibly, and with you, Chief Russo, maybe we could tackle this together, but if we could create where they would line up in the turn lane on Wasatch Boulevard from the mouth down to, it ends about 3500 East. From there, I don't have it solved. But if we could line cars up in the middle turn lane, that allows drivers going south, which would be our neighborhoods over there, to get by, also buses and people getting to work. That leaves that open where you turn to go to Lakai. You guys following me? So you can go up to the mouth, but that right turn lane is always open. That also introduces the Powder Express bus. So if we can amp our bus system, we can get buses to take that lane down through Lakai and making a left where Sandy police are stationed and have buses line up as an express and first tracks as an incentive to get on that bus. So I feel like if we can take the city team and kind of iron out the wrinkles, starting down by 3,500 East. I don't know if we line them up down Creek, if there's enough of a shoulder on Bengal, but at least people can get in and out of their homes. And I think we could, my neighbor coined it the Powder Express. So I feel like that is another way that maybe we can make common sense solutions practical. Thanks.
Thank you, Mickey. I appreciate it. We recognize that this has been a big issue this year, and we're committed to finding solutions. And so we love all ideas. And I talk with Mickey, on occasion. I appreciate your insight and bringing that to the council. So thank you. Any other comments online? Do you have?
Yes,
you want to introduce?
yes, there was a comment card that was submitted, and just for the record, I wanted to make sure it was read into the record. It's from Isabel Hanowitz, and it relates to concerns, once again, with traffic on Wasatch Boulevard, the ski traffic and the impacts on the residential neighborhoods. So this is part of the record. It will be part of that, and I'm just reading that in.
Thank you. Okay, with that, I will close the citizen comment period. Item 5 on our agenda, we only have one legislative item to consider tonight, and it's consideration of ordinance 395, amending Title 17, Cottonwood Heights Code of Ordinances, and it's concerning stormwater management. We had the opportunity as a council to go over this and discuss it during our work sessions. Is there any other questions or comments from the council? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to approve ordinance 395.
I'll make the motion to approve ordinance 395, amending Title 17 of the Cottonwood Heights Code of Ordinances concerning stormwater management.
I'll second.
And I'll second that.
Approved from Councilmember Newell and a second from Councilmember Bracken, and maybe even another second from Councilmember Peterson. So any other final questions or comments?
I appreciate the engineering staff for getting this put together, so we're other things.
Agreed. Thank you. I'll now call for the vote. Councilmember Peterson,
Yes.
Councilmember Bracken,
Yes.
Councilmember Newell,
Yes.
and I will vote yes. Okay, last on our agenda this evening is just the consent calendar, which is approval of the minutes from our city council retreat on January 31st, and then our city council work session, CDRA work session, and city council meeting on March 21st. Could I get a motion to approve?
You approve the consent calendar, and thank you for that.
I'll second.
Motion to approve, and we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. That does it for this evening. Could I get a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.